Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about adjusting levels in Revit. So levels have a 3D way they show up and a 2D way they show up. So if you look at them in 3D, we go look at them up here. You see these levels they're 3D, they just don't show the ones that are facing you. So if I go to the opposite corner, the levels always show up in the back. They never show them like, because it'd be confusing because they'd be like over the front of your building. But they're like a 3D level that shows up. But then when you get to your elevations, you have the levels and you can adjust them in 2D so that the level bubbles are where you want on the elevation. So let's just say for the sake of argument, we want our level bubbles to be on the right and not a left and not the right. I can just click here and uncheck there and it'll move that bubble back to the other side. No, I don't want to do that in this case. So I'm going to undo that. So if you look at my typical wall section, I've got the roof bearing with a level, an level elevation symbol. I've got the first floor with a level elevation symbol. I've got the top of foundation and the top of footing. Now I could do a level elevation at the typical slab, but I didn't think I needed to, so this would be my top of foundation, or so I would say crawl space floor level. But I didn't think I needed to do it because it was sitting right on this top of footing elevation. So when we get into our elevations here, let's just say for the sake of argument, it's a judgment call whether I should do crawl space slab or top of footing, but let's just say for the sake of argument, I want to keep this top of footing. I could do top of foundation, but I don't think it's really necessary on my elevations. Now, if I did do that, I would adjust it out so it matches the rest of them. And then if you zoom in on this here, once you click on it, you see this little break line. I would do a break line and then get that so that it doesn't overlap the level above it. So now to get rid of that and bring it back to normal, I just drag that back up until it lines up. And then you'll see the little break line comes back. Now let's just say for the sake of argument, I don't want to show that one. I can just right click on it and I can hit hide in view. And I don't want to do the category because that'll get rid of all of them. Okay, so now I've got these on here, the ones I want to show on my elevations. How do I get them to be in the right location? Now, what you have to be careful is when you click on these things, you see this little 3D, that's showing you where the ends of these levels are in 3D. But the problem is if you adjust one of them right to where you want it in 3D, and you look at the elevation from the other side, it's going to be messed up on that other side. So what we want to do when we adjust these is click on 2D, because that way we can adjust all these in 2 dimensions and they will not show up in 3 dimensions. So let's click on this one, make sure that one says 2D. And you can see it's going to give me a little line once I get close to lining up. And then I'm going to click on this one and make that one 2D. So by adjusting them, once I get to the point of getting my elevation set up the way I want them on the page, that allows me to adjust them just in 2 dimensions and not having them move on my other elevations, because you will drive yourself nuts. You'll get them right. If you do it in 3D, you'll get them right on one elevation, but they'll be messed up on the other ones. So that's how we fix and mess with levels on our Revit files. Thank you.